Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hopefully the sound on this one is a little bit better. This is Michael Beatzilla Whitmore, coming again, just speaking the truth as the Lord has revealed to me. I'd like to first say, Barakatah Yahweh, and Barakatah Yahweh Shemashah. And shalom and peace to all the brothers and sisters out there amongst the select few of Israel, the Bahar of Israel, rather. I'm starting today with with two topics. I think I left off on Isaiah 4, my last podcast. I got cut off. So sorry for the abrupt end of that last podcast. So where am I going to start today? This is the morning. This July 25th. So today is July 25th, and interesting topic, because as some people know, if you're somewhat in the know of understanding prophecy and so forth, I'm watching the 700 Club, and I'm watching Pat Roberts or Robertson, whatever his name is. This cat is actually now calling for Israel to take preemptive strikes against Iran. The way they're pumping it is as they're trying to join and protect Israel, which would be the Israelis, and they keep confusing Israelis for Israelites, which is not a confusion. That's just an outright lie. They understand that they are not. They're Khazars. They are mountain people. They are not the real original Jews, so to speak. Actually, they're not Jews at all because they're not from the tribe of Judah. That's how you become a Jew. Or you are recognized as a Jew because you look like the tribes of Judah, from who all returned from, I believe that would be Babylon, the captivity in Babylon. So, again, I'm going to go through some things here. And address a few things. Last night, because I like to catch what they're doing over there on TBN and see how they like to twist and turn scriptures. At this point, I've watched a couple shows, and actually I watched, what's that man's name? Jesse Duplantis. This cat had a whole half-hour show on TBN and opened the Bible not one time. Nor did he speak a verse, but he came in talking about this message and this lesson. Of course, talking about sowing seeds, and the only way to get this particular 36 or 100-fold is by sowing seed. And then he uses a scripture that actually is pertaining to giving people the truth, not giving tithes. If you give the truth freely, which would be the gospel, not your seeds, like to help your fellow neighbors or to give them the information needed to get them closer to the Lord. So I don't know where you come in with the money aspect in this kind of context, but they're somehow making a way to find it. Now, granted, the reference that he used of the Bible, he didn't even, there was no flash on the screen of this is the scripture to which he's pertaining to. He just used it as a loose reference. And then, of course, misused it anyway. So, a lot of people follow that dude. And, of course, we understand that probably majority of the 2/3 are still within the church system. However, I've noticed by still kind of being semi-affiliated with the church, I don't follow anything of what they're doing, but I guess that's just where the Lord has me for now, to pull some of them out, which has been happening within the last year. And again, man, I'm not in the popularity contest. If what I do ends up killing your church, good. Because at the end of the day, unless your church is on path with the Lord, man, you need to get out of the way anyway. Because, you know, this is Yahweh's, man, this is Yahweh's everything, man. So, you know, he gave us his son, Yahweh, and it's so completely ignorant to ignore the name. So let me start there. I'm addressing that one. I hit that real quick. A couple years ago, I was, as some may know, I'm a musician. So I had a show down in the Bay. And me and this brother from the Nation of Islam, we rode back from Oakland back to Portland, which is, you know, about 10, 12-hour drive. So in the drive, during that drive, we were discussing beliefs of religion, and something that, you know, clear. I wasn't even near the understanding that I am now at all. However, I've always known the God that I've served. Coming up, I believed that was the same God people were worshiping in church. As, of course, you get older, you realize there's a lot of fraudulent people out there. So it's like you can't be dealing with the spirit I'm dealing with. Then there was a time in high school where we had a Bible study, and the spirit fell down real heavy, and this demon that was sitting up in our presence immediately went crazy and started screaming in one of them like weird movie type voices, talking about, you know, why are you bothering me? I'm not here to bother you. I'm just here for her and to condemn her. Which actually, as it turns out, this chick is like Indian, East Indian or Pakistani or something like that. Of course, not a J. So, as time rolls on, you know, the demon kind of manifests in front of our face while we're in prayer. Still ignorantly calling on the name of Jesus. However, in my spirit, I'm like, Holy Spirit, give your power. Give us the power of the Lord. If, you know, and I don't know what made me do that, but it was something that was key that the Spirit put on me to do. So years later, as I'm in this conversation with the brother, I was able to explain that whole situation to him in the matter of thinking to say, well, I don't know if we got it right. I know the God I serve, but I don't even know if we know his true name. And considering how everybody uses this name, Jesus Christ, and God, and all these other names, well, I would believe that, if his name is terrible amongst the heathen and this world was given over to the hands of the wicked, common sense tells me we don't know the name. So that immediately sent me back on a hunt. Because, you know, I know this God exists. He's dealt with me since I was young. And so I've been walking this road, like basically trying to get back home. You understand? So fortunately, last year, January 1st, matter of fact, New Year's Day, I woke up New Year's Day, and the Lord woke me up with this on my mind. He said, "You're going back to Israel." What? Going back to Israel? I've never been out of this country other than going to Canada. So to say I'm going back to a place where I've never been didn't make any sense. So then I proceeded to watch all kind of videos and stuff on Israel, because my mind is telling me, my natural mind is telling me, oh, well, the Lord means that we're going to go over here and there must be something we're going to experience. Well, needless to say, I still have not made it over to Israel, however, have made it back to Israel. And the understanding now it's more of a spiritual thing, because to be going back to Israel as he told me I would, meaning coming back to my own nation, Israel, the people. So he brought me back to the people, to where we're all estranged from one another. Now, right there, I guess that would kind of disprove Nate, Satan, and a lot of these other guys. And I mean, I don't think people, as much as they, and let me say this, as much as they come at, because I see these comments, I look at these comments on the GMS, especially the elders, the websites. Now, these brothers are doing breakdowns of words, breakdowns of understandings, and the Greek and the Hebrew, the Yiddish and the Paleo, and then going, I mean, man, for people who want to give you this information for free, there's people who charge millions of dollars. They get paid millions of dollars to sell you books on bullshit. However, when the brothers start coming with the truth and coming directly out the word, now I'm hearing cats tell them on one of the videos I've seen, this brother asked him to shut the Bible. Like, how are you going to be proving you for the Lord and you telling him to shut the Bible? Because, see, the Lord made me a realist. So, you know, even he has to prove himself in a real way. I guess that's the way he made me, so the way he would prove it to me, I would have no reason other than to believe it. So he's put me in these impossible situations that only he can make possible. So for me to say there's no such thing as faith-based Israelites and we need to follow the law, that's insanity. Because let me tell you, I came back to Israel scarcely knowing the law. And most definitely not getting a grasp of the statutes. And then, of course, coming up in the black church, these ignorant niggas always tell you that the law's done away with, although they want to still keep getting tithes. But there's no Levites around. So again, you know, they say, well, how have you robbed God by your tithes and offering? You got to ask yourself, were the Levites around at that time? Because if they weren't, then somebody, whoever sent them out, they at fault. So you might want to go dig and find that story for yourself versus listening to some pastor and saying, oh, this and that and this and that and the other. Now, mind you, right now, I have not even opened up the Bible yet as what I'm saying to you to be true. Reason being is because I'm giving you my own personal testimony. Now, also, the Lord won't tell you nothing that is not written. Now, there's a lot of people that probably would say, well, I don't believe that's true. No, it's written. You just haven't understood the parameters of how to read it. Like, this book is written completely in code. It is not for outsiders. It's only for Israel. And not to mention, the Lord has stricken all y'all with blindness. So only the people who's going to be able to break down these scriptures and break down these words is the people he put in place. The Bachar. Bahayar. I'm sorry. Probably mispronounced that a lot. But as I'm saying, man, we got to be more diligent in seeking his face. And seeking his face, if my people who are called by my name, which, quite frankly, that wouldn't be Israel. Not as a whole. No. There's only one tribe out of 14. 12 are elect. And I don't think everybody understands that. Ephraim and Manasseh are nephews. So go study before you open your mouth on me. But with that being said, Judah, which his name is Yahweh, is Yahweh thanks, or Lord thanks. So if my people who are called by my name, Judah is the only people out of Israel who are called by the Lord's name. So that says a lot of power resides in Judah. you African Americans, you coloreds, niggas, nigger spicks, white niggers. See, they put these labels on you, or what they call the Indians, field nigger or something like that. Some bush, some crazy name, still got nigger on it, because they know who you are. What this whole world is afraid of is us knowing who we are, and more importantly, knowing that intimidating language that we originally spoke, which again was given to us by the Lord and from our forefathers, Abram the Hebrew, Abram, before the Lord changed his name. So I mean, none of this stuff is spoken of, but however, always loosely referred to. So they haven't taught you anything. They teach you a lot about the God of Jacob, the God of Isaac, and the God of Abraham. Well, you know, Jacob has a twin brother, the ruddy guy, the ruddy red baby, the ruddy red hairy baby. His name's Esau. And Esau has mighty prophecies in this Bible. However, it's funny. Esau, which would be your Caucasians of today, and every white person, don't listen to this, and if you are listening to me, which I doubt, but I had nothing to do about racism. I'm all about nationalism. Our national flag is the Lord. Our national name is Israel. Who we are of that nationality is Israelites. That's a big, big compass. And I don't think we have room for too many more people. Because at the end of the day, we're filling your prisons. And we're filling your unemployment line. And that's blacks and Latinos. And then you have the Indians, who you just always call drunkards, and put them out on the reservation. So, you know, we got to look at things as they are, you know, and we're not even trying to bother to get into original language or original speak. And to the brothers, the two brothers, I've seen two videos out of Texas, out of the GMS camps, Texas. And let me mind you, I'm not officially like part of GMS, nor have I talked to anyone from GMS. I represent the nation of Israel, the true nation of Israel, not the fakes, but that's who I am. That's who I represent. So everybody amongst Israel, I'm looking at and perceiving. Now, as far as the elders go, by far, GMS takes the cake, hands down. Because I got to say, and not to mention, these are the only brothers who are really using the name. And in my pastoral study Bible, the name that they're calling on for the Lord is actually in my Bible. Now, why aren't we using that name? And they're talking about we don't know the name. Well, the name's in my book. You mean to tell me that all these pastors around here don't have better Bibles than me? Don't kid yourself, folks. You know, this is real deal trickery and spiritual wickedness at its height, man. This is the most carnal situation you can do. If you turn on your TV, they selling you nothing but covetousness every day. Covetousness. Go envy what somebody else got. You see this? You see how I'm rocking it? Go get that. Don't be original and create something of your own. No, be a clone and follow me so we can make money for all these other people. So while Jesse Duplantis last night totally disregarded the words, you know what names he did drop? Chanel, Louis Vuitton, and said he spent $2,000 or $6,000 on 2 purses for his wife, and said that he was being a blessing. $6,000 for 2 purses. Now, you think Jesse Duplantis don't have urban areas that need that money, but his wife needs a purse? And this is the church we're talking about. Mr. Sow your seed. We'll go sow a seed in that ghetto. Or shut up. Because while you got the people coming from the ghetto to come to your church and break themselves to pay tithes, go without lights and water and eat, so you can fly around in your private jet and then say, I'm not bragging, I'm trying to be humble. Man, there's nothing humble about the wicked, and there's nothing humble about a hustler. If a hustler is humble, then he's conning you. I'm sorry, they don't change their stripes, man. Just like an Ethiopian can't change his color. And again, the Lord told you this in the Old Testament. So, I mean, even with Solomon, man, it's nothing new under the sun. What's being done now has already been done. And they don't like to tell y'all that that's actually from the Word. They want to say, oh, we just thought this old folk tale. Same as the story that Yahweh told about the cat on the roof in the flood with three. And I heard that story as a kid. Had no idea that story came from the Lord. Because the people tell it, you know, you hear that story, but the man who was in the flood, or the woman who was in the flood, and she's on top of the roof, and the three people come by to save her, and she don't go, talking about the Lord's going to save me. Then she drown, die, and go to heaven and say, Lord, why didn't you save me? I sent three people. That's basically what you're looking at right now. You have these cats out here blowing this trumpet. In the meantime, the white folks are so scared, these upper echelon white folks. I'm not talking about Joe Mechanic or Joe the plumber, who probably don't even really exist. But I'm talking about these rich people that you don't even know about. You hear about some of the rich people, but you don't even hear about all of them. So, you know, I come to tell people that, you know, I used to be in banking. And I can tell you about this banking world pretty much is it. Everything else is a fake. You know, everything is ran out of that bank, man. Don't fool yourselves. There is no government over the banks. The bank is over the government. I learned that lesson while working there. And being in wire transfer and understanding that real money ain't coming in cash. So the money that you thinking that people got, or you balling, or like, even if you look at Jay-Z, Jay-Z's not successful. Kanye is not successful. Beyonce's not successful. What is success if you're selling your soul to the devil to get it? And don't fool yourselves, people. If this land is given over to the wicked, and they have the riches and all of that there, how they going to let your black ass in there without having to commit some kind of way? I mean, Bob Dylan talked about he made a deal with the devil. That's Bob Dylan. You mean to tell me you think that Beyonce and Jay-Z up here doing all of this and they ain't down with this? I just had a brother tell me, well, Jay-Z do that for entertainment. Oh, my God. He does it for entertainment? I'm going to give you all of it like that. Nobody has any idea that Magna Carta bullshit, Holy Grail. Like, this cat is the most blasphemous bastard out there, and you talking about that's entertainment? It's entertaining to go against your God? Well, not they God, because we know who they serve. They serve the GOAT, the Yah. So if you're saying Yah, Y-A-W, or Y-A-H, Yah, that's the GOAT. That's why you think he made his name so close. But the Lord always gives you these hints throughout the Bible how to pronounce his name. Yay, yay, or yeah. Yeah. You either see Y-E or Y-E-A. Yeah. Yeah. Not Yah. Yeah. Yahweh. Yahweh. Because if you're just pronouncing yeah, that doesn't have an R. It has more of an eh. So to put that R in there, that's the GOAT. You're going right back to Egyptology. Pretty much all they do is to get that. Because, you know, the new Latin translations for Jesus and Christos, you know, those are actually altered because those are further names. Those names go way back further than that. to the sun god of the east, or sun god of the north, or sun god of the south, in ancient mythology. And then the whole story about the baby Jesus that they show you is, I can't remember right offhand the story, but it has to do with one particular deity and his sister having a child. And that baby is the baby that you see looking like Jesus. That baby is Jesus, the same picture. So it's, you got to know, man, these people have set y'all up to worship the devil, man. You keep calling on the name of Jesus Christ. Yo, that name didn't change from days of old, man. They just told you it was a different explanation for it. If you don't believe what I'm saying, don't just write me off and be lazy. Disprove me by looking for it. I mean, because if you can disprove me, then you have nothing to worry about. But if you find out that I'm right, you might want to put it all down and start finding this word. And that's all I'm going to tell you that, man. Because y'all is, man, way off. And the nigga Shakya that's in Dallas, that nigga's a cop. I don't know who or what how he done got in there and how long, but that nigga's a long-term fed. Because I can tell you by the way he speak, he a cop. That's why he can't even get into the doctrine on a spirit level. And they say that, I mean, I listen to the brothers, they said he was in attendance all the time. How you in attendance all the time with them under Tahar? And you're not gaining no information? Oh my goodness. Nah, that's a fed, man. He was plenty. Now I would be safe to say that he probably the one that recruited Nate. I mean, and this is just my speculation I'm all the way on the other side of the nation. So let me say, I ain't never been to New York or Connecticut or Dallas or Houston for that matter. But I know what I see. And I know to speak of undercovers. And that right there, he got the speech of an undercover in me. And that's if that's the case, they knew him way back in like the 90s, then that tells you that this government was really making a serious move against us years ago. Which would make sense for why I had to go through some of the things I went through while at the bank, which at the time I thought it was because of banking. And quite frankly, I shouldn't have ever been in the job that I was at. Had it not been for, these people knowing who I was. Before I even knew. And this all has to do with the Lord, man, and being an Israelite. That's really what it has to do with. And I asked some questions about that, and that's when I found out, like, oh, this is really about the word. Like all of this wicked shit that I'm seeing it goes back to goes right back to it. So I said, well, wow. Okay, there is nothing else out here. Oh, not to mention, I heard directly from Secret Service. I'm going to go ahead and play and put it on out there. I heard directly from the Secret Service. This is a man who was protecting Bill Clinton. And if you try to do your research on me, there's nothing you're going to find about my history with this mess because they didn't make it. A cop would know because I'm fingerprinted. So a cop could find out. So if somebody could get into the records to find out why they got me fingerprinted, that might help you. I think Eric Snowden know, or Edward Snowden. But you best believe, man, this thing is all about Israel and nothing else. That book is about Israel, and this whole thing that you see out here and everybody going against the Lord, it's all about this book. Nothing else. Not Buddha, not Krishna, nobody. It's all about Yahweh and Yahushua. Period. And these people who we call the elect, who are going to be the hierarchy of the incoming kingdom. I'm not going to say oncoming, it's incoming. So by the time y'all hear that siren, and that big sonic boom that comes directly from the sky. Hear my words. Best look for the Lord. Look for Yahweh now. Drop the name of Jesus. Drop the name of Christ, because that was given to you by your oppressors. Pick up the name. Pick up that holy name. Yahweh, that sacred name. That's what he even calls it in my Bible. Yahweh, I am. And Yahweh Shai, his son, the one who comes in his name. So you have Yahweh Shai, and if his people who are called by his name, Yahweh Da. There's a simple lesson for you right there. And all of it, if, you know, we are going to go ahead and address certain things, then, you know, I think it's in Amos to where he's even referring. I think I've read this before on one of my previous podcasts. The way that the word describes it, I mean, he describes this Illuminati crap to a T. Everybody running around here with stars and whatnot. You know, it doesn't matter. I mean, this is nonsense, man. So, okay, so now I as I'm flipping through my word right here, got the, you know, the Lord just works like that. This is Matthew 11 and 23. And I'm going to just make this point real quick, because a lot of people have problems with what I'm saying and what I always tend to say. So again, Matthew 11:23, and thou, Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven, shalt be brought down to hell, or unto Hades. For if the mighty works which have been done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. But I say unto you that it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom in the day of judgment than for thee. Now, most people will say, well, what does that mean? What is he talking about? How does that have to play with anything? Well, if you recall how I opened this up, I started talking about Pat Robertson, who is calling for Israel to go into Iran, which, if anybody understands anything, that means that you're calling for World War III. And by that, we do understand that after that, there's one more prophecy to be fulfilled. What is that? That is that mark of the beast. Now, there's a mystery that surrounds that timeline that I'm not going to speak on. So I'll allow everybody to stay within their interpretations until that interpretation is revealed. So again, I will say this. When you get to this World War III, then you need to start, I mean, right now you need to start counting, because nobody knows. But you need to measure this time, man, and really seek his face, and go back to your original faith, man. The faith of your fathers, the faith of your ancestors. You know, let's not get into what's new, what's cool, what's comfortable. You know, if we living so far away from the way that the Lord has, then you either need to take yourself up out of the church and go do what you need to do, or stay out, especially in the brothers that call themselves in the truth. I mean, as far as these pastors go, we know they liars. But for the nigga who came in, man, again, man, the Lord pushed me on all of this, man. So I heard about the story of the man in Trinidad who was basically nothing but a con man, and then cats trying to say he should be forgiven. Look here, man. Anybody who knows what these brothers is doing and trying to come in to swindle them is of the devil, man. Period. Period, point blank. And he needs to be cut out. They need to be separated. And then I heard the other story about the brother committing adultery. This thing is not a joke. And it's very serious. So if you find yourself getting caught up in a carnal situation, which don't get me wrong, man, anybody can fall into that. But if you're just going to sit up there and stick in a carnal situation like it's cool and try to manufacture this ordeal as it happened, like, I mean, from the story I heard, and then I actually watched the joint from the brothers who was actually with GMS Las Vegas. That right there, it pretty much gave me all I needed to know. I think I took, a good, clear understanding of it off top, but to look at how it goes now, man, it's terrible, man. Because that's really, it's wicked, and I see how the other brother was kind of hurt because that's his partner, so, you don't want to look at your boy like, damn. But it is what it is. And this is time for the sifting, man, the sifting process. And best believe, it starts with us, the men in the truth. Whether you be part of GMS or an individual out here or whatever you're doing. If you claim to be an Israelite, claim to be the truth, and have faith in being part of the elect, you need to be on this, man. Straight up. On it. And not like just playing with it and trying to be, just some kind of sucker. And I just stand by and I just ride the blessing and hope that, I get caught up in it when it comes. You think the angel's going to make mistakes when they come gather up his servants? Oh, man. Come on, man. Let me tell you. This thing from Adam to the last. This book is full of mysteries. And one thing I think that people don't marvel at enough is the fact that Moses wrote those first 4 books and wrote all about the beginning. Moses is generations down the line, not to mention far removed. He's dealing in the prince's house in Egypt while the rest of his folks in the slave quarters. So let's not get this twisted, man. Not to mention, at that time and all the times before this land of captivity that we call America, this hellhole, this prison, this oppressed doctrine, break yourself just to give medical attention society. And if you don't have insurance, then you got the mandatory insurance because you're broke and disenfranchised. So here, we'll give you free health care, but you got to take this chip. Because that's coming, man. Don't fool yourself. It's coming. And who put it there? Obama. Don't cry to me. Cry to him. But I don't think the devil would much care. Now, one of these days, he's going to reveal to you who he is. And I believe firmly, I have faith as much as I am part of the elect, that man is Satan in the flesh. Now, there's a word a Hebrew word in the Paleo, or in the Lashon Kadash, for beast. Which, of course, we know that's Barack Obama's car, the beast. Well, what word is there for beast? It's Bama. What a coincidence. So if we go to the newer modern Hebrew, which is Yiddish, by the Karzar's translations of our language, they say Bama means high place. And that's what it means in my book, in my Bible. Bama means high place. That gives you 2 different meanings for the word Bama. Well, I think it's Matthew. I'm sorry, right now I don't have the scripture right offhand. I should have been more prepared. I'm sorry. It's not. But where Yahushua, or Jesus as so many people ignorantly call him, he told him that he saw, at the last day, he saw Satan as lightning fall from the sky. Which, if you look in the original way he was speaking, that would have been, I've seen Satan as Barack Obama. Or Barack Obama. Or Wabama. So I guess that would be Va. or O. So, it's amazing that right now we look at this man and say, oh yeah, he's going to help us. He's going to help us. He's in his second time, his second term in office, and no way has he even made any effort to change laws to benefit those who are being messed up. And that's man. Come on, man. I would imagine, like maybe get back into Matthew 24. That might help you get some understanding as well. And again, most of this stuff is in red letters, so I don't think, you need to like be mad at me because this is what I'm saying to you. It's all written. Let's see, what is this? And to add further to my point, what is it, Matthew 24 and 42? Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. So we don't know when he's coming. He could come, because these prophecies will still be fulfilled. Now, will they be fulfilled in the way that we think they will? Maybe, maybe not. But our ways aren't his ways, our thoughts aren't his thoughts. So therefore, we have faith that we live diligently by the day to consider Yahweh in all our ways and to make sure that we ask all of these things that we need in the name of Yahweh Shai. Because these are the names that we're given. We don't need to worry about translations. These brothers talking about, oh, I greet you in the name of... Well, actually, wait. First off, the fraudulent way the Shakia cat came off. These brothers walk up to that dude and say, he says, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatah. Really? Really, dude. And then you go into the spiel about how we don't know the name. I said, wait a minute. That's confusing like a mug. And we all know that who is not the author of what? So are those brothers really speaking of the truth? Are those brothers in the spirit of the Lord? No, they're in the spirit of that loudspeaker. They're in the spirit of that microphone. They're in the spirit of them purple, matching purple shirts, which is far from sackcloth, which at the same time, we're not supposed to be looking at our brothers and judging them. The Lord has mercy on the poor. So how would a group calling themselves Israel anything? Israel United. That's the first two words that you think. Israel United. And you're talking about Brahmalites and, you basically calling these cats derelicts. Wait a minute. Not to mention it's extremely feminine to be worrying about what dudes other men have on. So, I guess that kind of sums you up there with under Paul's definition of the cats who will not be making it in. Because that's very effeminate. Like you're worried about looking pretty than being in sackcloth, which actually David even spoke of in the Psalms. So, if it was sackcloth was cool for David, king of Israel, and it's going to be good enough for these prophets, I guess they must have missed that part in Revelations to where after all of these lies have came forth, these prophets are going to hit the streets and start prophesying in sackcloth. Well, what has happened? It is exactly that. And in the midst of performing these unrighteous acts, you won't engage a debate to further anybody. Now, I've watched just from, I'd say, because the Lord said I was going back to Israel January 1, 2012. So I'll say by the time I came around to the Israel, and GMS is the last group I came across. First one, of course, was the Comfy Nigga, which for so many reasons I won't get into, I knew he was a fraud as soon as I heard that comfy crap. He's a God sent comforter. That's a joke. He don't even understand what, or matter of fact, I'll put it to you like this. For him to be saying he's a God sent comforter, that dude is also a fed. So he's just as bad as Shaki to me. There's certain things that these elites know that that hasn't even been revealed to some of the brothers yet, or has been revealed to the brothers, and the Lord told them, don't mention this. Just as I'm not mentioning it as well. But, and I can understand that I see how the Lord took GMS. The biggest sign to me was him taking y'all through Daniel. So I said, okay, well, I'll see what time it is now. So, I mean, man, if y'all, that's why there's been no more lessons after Daniel. You need to be on point now. Because if you don't even understand the dynamics of why they did that, you ain't even part of the elect, man. It's a done deal for you. So, man, go party. Because you're out. And it's like sad to say, I mean, there might be repentance for that brother out there in Vegas. But by the way, that story happened, like, nigga, you was way off. So far off that you went, man, I ain't going to get into that. But, yeah, man, that was just wrong. That was just wrong on all kind of levels. And you should know better and should be holding yourself to a higher standard. Don't come back out and talk about, oh, man, it's not like... No. Sit down, shut up, silence yourself. Just as any pastor should do, which of course we see they won't. Let's not be like them. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I ain't saying the elders are perfect. What I am saying is there is a certain area of people that are really trying to get into heaven. We're trying to get into this kingdom that the Lord has for us. And we're not talking about no mystical place. Well, I'll take that back. We are, but then we're not. Because there are some things that people don't understand. This world still has to have the shock of existence. It won't be the shock of the century. This will be the shock of existence, which still has to take place. Now, if you know anything about 2 Thessalonians, I think that's 2 Thessalonians 2:7. If anybody has been on this, and if you understand what you were studying in Daniel, that might help you a bit. And that also help you understand Ezekiel and Isaiah, Amos and Obadiah and Haggai a lot better. So I pray that the Lord reveals these mysteries to you, because there's a lot that the disciples knew that they didn't write down and speak, because these are going to be that hidden scripture that the Lord Himself is going to write on our hearts. And you know how we get into it? You guys are so lost, man. Man, praise the Lord, man, for brothers like Tahar and Gabar and Ramla and Rakah and forgive me, brother, I can't think of your name, the dark-skinned brother with the braids, and then of course Houston and Dallas, and also the brothers out of LA. Those are the ones I've seen. Those are the ones I've watched. And it's, as far as the elders go, man, these cats are real edifying. And for so long, I've been looking for somebody who could even talk on this level. Because, like, really, it's really simple once you're dealing with the Lord in simplicity. But you got to take off your carnal mind, man. You got to take off them carnal eyes, and you most definitely got to change your carnal ears and start using that spirit. Spiritual righteousness, man. That spiritual warfare, man. You got to come prepared. The breastplate, the helmet of salvation, man. Helmet? That means you're keeping it in your mind, not giving it away when somebody says, "Hey, man, I don't like your feeling about my life." So what? This is what the Lord says. If you don't like it, too bad for you. And we are not in the days and age of talking this crap. Oh, and not to mention, whoever that is, the 14th Street dude, or it might be Nate Satan's guy, whoever is the leader of the third Edomite Slayer, stop lying to that boy. Tell him he has nothing coming here other than destruction. Now, you've lied to him and told him that he got a chance to make it. Kinda, stop taking that boy's money. Tell him the truth so he can leave people alone. Because the fact that you got that wicked asshole just going around and posting like, I already told him, I don't deal with you. I'm only dealing with Israel, and I'm only dealing with the elect. So, I mean, quite frankly, I'm not finna go back and forth with you. I'm not finna argue with you because I'm not worried about you. The Lord finna handle you. And like I told him, when them angels come and hand your ass over to these dudes, you remember this day when you was popping off. Okay, well, deal with him now. You know, and as I would see, the Lord would see fit to hand you straight over to the feet of a cow. Shit, let me get some of that too. I mean, man, you guys got it so confused. And all the brother did was, you know, you opened up in confusion, you closed in confusion. So I see what the Israel united. You know, Israel united in confusion. That's so you might as well call that Israel united in Babylon, man. Or like the brother, Israel united in oil. You know that, and that's confusion, man. You Israel united in Babylon, man. Straight up. Because I've had a solid year to dissect pretty much everything. And the only ones to correct themselves, and I've seen it come directly out of Tahar's mouth, is a correction of an understanding. And say, well, okay, we had this wrong. I saw that last year, so I said, wow. All right, I don't, you know, I'm still, you know, then the Lord took me to these brothers anyway. I started hearing them using the name, and I said, well, wait a minute, let me go look this up. Uh-oh. They own something. So, and it's fine, man. If you don't know what you should know, it is okay to get that information. Because I'm not saying I know everything. Man, a lot of the stuff I know, I was never able to, because I wasn't learning like that. I had to learn outside of the Word. Fortunately for me, everything that I experienced and have lived through and heard and was told is here. And I can thoroughly say, okay, well, here it is right here. Bam. You know, so I mean, I can draw a parallel to my life in the Bible. Fortunate and unfortunate. But best believe, man, anything I suffer at the cause of the Most High. I'm not finna sit up here and say, oh, it's something I did and something. Nah, man. Now, I'd rather gladly take my fire to come out on the other side of gold. Not cry and complain about it. So when you hear me say, I'm good, I'm cool, I'm doing good, man, I'm great. Damn right, man. Because I'm dealing with Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man. Sorry for you, man, if you haven't understood the benefits of being in that realm. But, yo, I fear the one who can do something that I can't imagine. I'm smart enough to know that. No way would I run around disrespecting it, saying, oh, we know the name, I'm going to go back and start using another name. That person deserves destruction and ought to be whipped. So these are the things that I'm telling y'all and I'm selling y'all for free. Because the truth is freedom. So if you got to feel like you're buying something, buy it with your spirit. And do me a favor. My only cost for this is for you to seek diligently Yahweh's face and to understand the importance of the names Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. And again, this is for the elect. So, I mean, for you elect that may listen to it, I mean, because this is how the Lord works. So I wouldn't doubt that somebody's getting something out of this. Of course, I don't really get much feedback from it, but that's okay. because that's not what I'm here for, man. If I'm just doing what I'm told to do. Hopefully it's edifying to somebody. Today I'm just speaking out of my own personal testimony and my own personal life. And you know, this is my life. I don't have to lie and embellish it. Like, this is really stuff I've lived through. And some of the things I will talk about. And let me tell you this. I'm not keeping anything away from you because man has told me to. I don't speak certain things because the Lord has me not revealing. It's a big difference. So, you know, I fear the Lord, man. So if you say don't say this, then I don't. Do I know it? Yep. Do the elders know it? Yep. and some of the brothers I could see with Bakar had just been out there in Dallas. Like, the Lord is moving, man, and I'm just so thankful. You know, man, it's a really great thing happening in the land of Israel, in the nation of Israel right now. Of course, we weeding out the fakes and the people that don't have no love for this thing here. I mean, but it's the truth. I mean, why wouldn't you want to embrace the truth? Because remember, to lie, you have to first know the truth. So, again, for all these cats who's like, oh, well, we were down with One West, and I got respect for Tahar and Kabar and Brahman. Okay, well, if that's the case, then why are you out teaching against what they're teaching? Since you came up under them. See, that tells me that, oh, I wasn't able to get the recognition I wanted here, so let me go here and go do this thing. Oh, and not to mention I can get paid by that big G. Because Nate, on the end of his thing, like, you'll see the symbols. I said, oh, okay. Because as soon as I seen the first picture of that dude, I was like, look at the floor. I'm very well learned about this mess here. Like, that dude is a damn fed. I mean, because he just didn't wake up and just became a Mason. So anybody under Nate, man, y'all y'all so far past laws it ain't funny, man. You going right back to Baal. So what is he doing? Saying, take the name of Yahweh Shai. Why is the name of Christ so important if you're not serving Baal? Think, people. Wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. And I'm just going to go ahead and close with this. And I'm going to read something here. So please bear with me. And for you brothers who are more learned in Hebrew, Salah. So here we go. Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, help me along with this. Here we go. Kam, Kal, Yasharala, Kabal, Rai, Wa, Samya, Yahweh, Yahweh, Wa, Yakaha, Ha, Ram, Kadash, Tazawa, Yahweh, Wa, Yahweh, Shai, Wa, Yakah, Af, Rakah, Ahlah, Yahayim, Wa, Hatazayal, Af, Bachar, Kabash, La, Af, Kal, Hawad, La, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. So for those who do know what I just said, hey, if I messed up or didn't pronounce a word correctly, salah. For all the rest of you, I hope this is somewhat edifying. Again, my name is Michael B. Zilla Whitmore, or Michael Nakar Whitmore, whatever you want to call me. Or you can call me Nakar. Not to be confused with nigga, like the Africans call it. So again, I'm going to go ahead and say double honors to the elders of GMS that definitely rule well. And all the other brothers that are really in this truth and who know the name of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. So all I gotta say is till next time, get into your word, pray to Yahweh, and use them names, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Take the Rari, and do that. So, again, this is Michael Beasley Whitmore signing off. Shalom.